So, good evening, everyone. How are you all? We'll begin with the session in a while. I'm just letting in people join, and then we'll go ahead with the session today. So, yes, good evening, everyone. So, I'm Swarajpal Kesri, and I have given CAT 2024. I scored 99.95 percentile, breaking it up into different sections. VRC was 93.7x, LRDI was 99.98, and quant was 99.88, raw score adding up to 133, but scaled down a little due to slot one being a little bit on the easier side. Uh, so it got down to 130.65, and I finally converted IIM Ahmedabad and FMS both, and results of a few other colleges are due. And so I'll just be answering your queries on how I can help you with some of the things that I've used in my preparation and how you can make the best out of the classes that you'll be having ahead as well. I suppose the first class would be of Abhishek sir today at 9 p.m. So I'll be also guiding you on how what you should be expecting out of those classes, how you should be approaching them. So this would be the session. Okay, so we've started getting questions. I'll go one by one. Mm, from which month you actually have started the preparation? So I had started my preparation a little bit early, given the cutoffs for a general engineer male is relatively on the higher side. So I had started in Feb mid or Feb end, if I'm not wrong, and had been consistent since then till the exam day. So, which is better, FMS or IMA? It's a very subjective question. I don't think there's a definite answer to it. Depends on different perspectives that people have. But I'll be joining IIM Ahmedabad, and that was my dream college since I started my preparation. Was this your first time giving CAT? No, this isn't my first time. I had given it last year when I barely started my prep. Had given some mocks, used iQUANTA mocks again last year as well. So I had scored 93 percentile if I'm not wrong, or 92.93. But yeah, this year it's a lot better than the last one. So your 10th, 12th percentage and work experience. So my 10th percentage is 95 CBSC 10 by 10. 12th is 92 and work ex I'm working at Oracle right now as a software developer. So that adds up to 12 months when I was filling the form, 11 months some days, equivalent to a fresher, but now I have a work ex of 20 months. So I'm weak in maths. How do I start from basic? Okay, this is one of the best questions that I've had till now. So, understanding your weaker subject is one of the very good things that you can do very initially. Now, your initial focus, especially in quant, shouldn't be to solve problems or feel upset if you're not able to solve, because this is April. Make best use of classes, understand the concepts, understand how do you approach a question. Concept building is really important in your initial phase of preparation. Build your concept so robust that any question shouldn't be alien to you. Focus a lot on building concepts. Keep revising those concepts every month or two so that you don't lose touch out of those concepts. Be consistent in your preparation. So in that sense, I believe first concept building, step by step. Don't get too far ahead and focus on the result. Concept building, problem solving, sectionals, and then mocks. Uh, I'm week 997. Yeah, Raghav, I mean, I do not have a short answers to what would be the percentile on which you can convert. But yeah, iQuanta does have a percentile predictor that you'll need to convert specific calls based on your profile. So you can check that out. Uh, Sir, is this the right times to start with? This is a very good time to start your prep, where you have good amount of time to solidify your foundation and then have enough time for mocks as well. Books and resources that you used. My major part of preparation was from online resources. Books wise, hard copies I'd used Arun Sharma, but not much hard copies as such. So again, profile related question, guys. I'd suggest you to go to iQuanta's percentile predictor and check there, because I'm not the person who could tell you what is a short percentile you need. How many mocks did you give, and tell us about your daily schedule? So mocks had given roughly, sectionals were close to 30 each subject. Full length mocks were also something 30 to 35-ish. But the number of mocks is worthless, I would say. The analysis after every mock is really crucial, more than the number of mocks you give. So make sure your analysis is robust. You'll have many videos. Personally, for me, after every mock, the videos that were released by iQuanta was super useful for me. I used to go through every video, however long it went. So in that sense, mock analysis is really important to know what you're doing right, stick to it, to know what you're doing wrong, and cut that out. Cut that out. Percentile this year, as I mentioned, I scored a 99.95 percentile this year, and I've converted IIM Ahmedabad and FMS as well. How does IIM verify work experience? So based on your payslip, yes, I'm an engineer. 6 months enough for non-medico. If you can be consistent enough and give good amount of time, 2 3 hours per day, yes, it's enough. How should we enhance your resume as a fresher? I'd suggest certifications and having some internships under your belt. That can be a talking point. But yes, I would actually look for more CAT related questions here. I'm doing online BBA from IIM, so um, I haven't heard discrimination for online students as such. Till you're able to justify your learnings, I believe everything will be good. Books I've already answered. How did you manage work with prep? So for me, it was clarity that was important. Till 6, I would be working, and after 6, it would be all CAD prep. So you need to do your best to finish your work before 6, and then you need to do your best so that you can use your time, whatever is available. Can we attach fake experience? I mean, don't pull off these stunts if you're trying to get into the best B schools, right? Profile I mentioned, I'm an engineer. I have roughly 20 months of work ex as of now, 10th and a 998 profile. How do you keep going, especially on the days when you feel demotivating? Yeah, this is a good question. The day you're not able to do anything, make sure you just do one set LRDI. Make sure you just do 5 questions of quant and one RC. This is really important in making sure you're consistent, because uh, in cat prep, when you lose consistency, you lose those amount of days when you've not done your preparation, and also you'll have to invest some X amount of days to get your knack again. So in that sense, you don't want to have that opportunity cost so huge and regret at the end. So I used to make sure I do very little parts on the day where I'm not feeling like doing anything. Okay, what changes did you make to reach 90? Okay, so things that I've done differently this year was I made sure concept building is the most primary part of my preparation in the February to May phase. So I made sure I built all my quant concepts very well. I knew the concepts. I know how do I approach a question. I had my own framework. How do I approach VRC? Because that was my little uh, what what do we sour part of my preparation. LRDI was just practice. So in that sense, I used Feb to May to only build my concepts. I used to not fuss about what my mock scores were, what my sectional scores were. No, it's just concept building between Feb to May, post which I would, I mean, try to gauge how am I performing in mocks based on the concepts that I've built. Um, What used to be your mock marks in percentile? So mock marks used to be on a very wide spectrum. I've scored 50 as well. I've scored 140 as well. So it always had a very wide spectrum. But in that sense, if I have to give you an average of my all mocks and how, uh, I believe it was 90 to 100 every time, an average score. FMS waiting list chances. Again, I'm not the best person to comment there. Um, Gap years. Now I have a job offer. Should I join it and focus entirely on prep from home? So if you're able to have WorkX and prepare, that's the best case scenario because that also becomes a talking point, and your gap isn't very wide enough for you to justify in your interviews. Yes, you can always manage your preparation with job unless you're working 14, 15 hours a day, which I believe. I mean, in that sense, you can always manage your job with your CAT preparation. Any tips to improve in quant section? As I mentioned, that in quants, concept building is really, really important. Do not jump straight to attempting questions without building a concept in that topic. Use this time very nicely in your classes or from wherever you're preparing to build concepts. All of your focus should be to understand the concept that even if the question is rephrased or question is given in some twisted way, you are comfortable with attempting that question. So make sure you build your concepts very well for quants. Best time to start giving mocks. Now you can give one a month or two a month. From June, probably it can get weekly. And from August and September, it will be much more frequent because that will be a time closer to CAT. But more than giving mocks, analyzing mocks is important. If I find time at the end of the session, I'll take 5 minutes to explain how important mock analysis is and how do you go about it. But I do not want to overload you with too much of information all at once. So that is why I'll stick to what should be done right now. And how do you make the best of your concept building stage? How should we solve a particular one set in the form of deep understanding those terms and understanding pattern and questions? Okay, in DILR, nothing can beat practice. DILR, I sincerely believe that you need to practice a lot to get comfortable with any set or lessen your panic in the exam. So in that sense, I would seriously suggest if you can take time out, solve two sets every day. Even if you start two from now, that'll be more than enough for you to score a very good percentile at the end. But the only shortcut to solving DILR is doing very good amounts of practice. Profile related questions, again, you can check with the percentile predictor. Yes, IIM ABC does. IIM ABC, all of the IIMs have freshers, so you can obviously crack without any WorkX. But having WorkX is always a plus point. If you can have WorkX and prepare along, that's also a very well and good situation to be in. No, Aryan, I mean, it does not make any specific impact in an interview. In fact, if you have WorkX, that's a very significant point to talk about in your interview. That'll be a highlight to talk about. So, in that sense, solely for CAT prep, if you want to leave your job, you might consider also having your job and preparing and not leaving it entirely for CAT prep. Does job in sales? Okay, sales comes under work. So, till you're able to produce your pay slip, the salary that's credited every month, and the offer letter, I believe it should be passing the required criteria. Yes, I believed my QA was strong, being an engineer and also knowing what my strong area is, but VRC was a weaker part of my preparation. How to build vocabulary? Okay, wonderful question. Abhishek sir helped me here. So whenever I used to give his mocks, give iQUANTA's mocks, open the VRC analysis, and after every RC, you'll have a glossary of words, and all of those would be very nicely defined. But apart from that, read articles every day. Whenever you find a new word, try to write down the meaning, but also a sentence along with the word, so that when you use sentences, when you use those new words in your sentences, you basically remember it much long for much longer. Okay, how you strategized your quants? Quants was a round robin section for me. I used to go through everything. If the question is an absolute sitter, I used to attempt it on the first go, or else I used to mark it for review and come back to it later. So this was my strategy when I was attempting quant. How many months is enough for prep if you? I lost the question. Does gap year matter and does doing unpaid internship count as gap year? Yeah, unpaid internship, I'm really unsure of. Uh, Internships, firstly, don't count as work ex. Gap year, you'll need to justify why gap year. Uh, and which IIM should I target if I don't have work experience? So, I mean, there's no specific IIM who doesn't want freshers. All of the IIM, I believe, have freshers, if I'm not wrong. So in that sense, you're allowed to target all the IIMs if you, I mean, if you're starting your prep now. Which topic to focus on most in quants as the syllabus is too vast? I'd say arithmetic, but in my case, what happened was being a gem, because the cutoffs go very high, I did not have much of the luxury to leave out any topic. So in that sense, arithmetic consists of major bulk of the paper, so you can go with that if you're asking me specific topics. Give me hints. I'm very weak in quant section. I can't even do a single question. So KL Rahul LOP, just like KL Rahul, all you have to do is practice. Here, concept building is really important. So make sure you use May, June, July in building your concepts. Don't jump into giving sectionals very quickly if you haven't built your concepts. Invest time into building concepts. Does gap, okay, gap, I've already answered. Profile, please check for iQUANTA's percentile predictor. I'll not be the best person who can give the exact percentile there. I'm interior, I am not much good in any of the three subjects. How do I prepare and how do update profile? Rithi, so preparation, the thing is you will have to stick to basics for your CAT preparation. Nothing else is going to help. In VRC, the syllabus is very small in VRC, so that won't take much of your time, but practicing a lot of RCs, reading a lot of articles, enhance, getting comfortable with the vocabulary of RC more than just trying to impart vocabulary is important. So practice RCs a lot. Stay in touch with all the three subjects consistently. Don't lose out touch. Don't lose consistency is one of my suggestions. I did not prepare for. I mean, if I have to give you an average time, how much I prepared on my working days, it would roughly be 2.5 hours. But I used to make the most of my weekends. So in that sense, just stay consistent with your prep, and results would be much more exponential than you doing major chunk in a day and leaving it for long. Can you explain how to begin in quant concept building, like of arithmetic, algebra, geometry, and modern math? What should be given more importance in the beginning? So, Sarvesh, because you're starting very early, I would not ask you to have bias with the topics very initially. I would suggest that you, where whatever resource you're using, if you're using the classes, make sure you attend the classes with the intention that you want to understand the concepts. Suppose if you take geometry, for example, and sir is explaining properties of triangles. So you need to ensure that you are understanding, okay, the sum of angles is 180. Your focus isn't to solve questions, but to understand what triangle is, how angles are working there, what are the different theorems related to it, what are different properties of triangles. Understand these concepts, make it intuitive. So that is one significant thing that I would suggest in quant concept building. And then get on solving problems. It becomes much more easy. See, concepts is nothing but your armory, right, for your war. War is you solving problems in sectionals and mocks. You need to have a very solid armory. So in that sense, quant concept building is that armory that you'll be using. I'm a full-time freelancer. In order to justify the gap, if I tell about this, will that suffice? Kindly help me with this. Yes, if you justify that why you've taken this gap with a very substantial reason as this, if you've done good amount of projects, I don't think it should be a problem. Till you're able to justify your gap, I don't think gap is a problem. Okay, I have 8 months experience. CFA, will it be a yeah, it'll be a good boost for getting finance roles. But I mean, CFA, the levels of CFA that would be required for you to get a finance shortlist depends college to college, right? The higher college you go into, you'll have many people doing CFA level two. So level one might not be preferred in that company. But if the college has a lot of people who are of CFA level one, you might get a good shortlist there. So in that sense, it's very relative, and also because I have not been there, I cannot comment on what would be the rigid criteria to get a shortlist. So do not take my word on that on it, but this is one of my suggestions. कम है तो IIM A मिल सकता है 10th 12th की percentage. So it does matter in getting IIM Ahmedabad's call in specific because the people who are fighting for that college seat, many of them do have a very good percentage in 10th and 12th. So in that sense, you'll have to score very good in your CAT to make up for your loss in 10th and 12th. That's an uncontrollable. You cannot think about that. But let's stick to controllables. CAT score is relatively in control. So focus on that. And if you score very well and good, I don't think uh, you can miss out on good calls from good colleges. Yes, Shubham, as I mentioned, as a working professional, my only aim was I would do everything to complete my work before 6 p.m. And post 6 p.m., I was sure that I need to only go for CAT preparation. So, in that sense, this clarity is important, and the effort to just wind off your work very early is important. So, that is the clarity that you will need before. For me, it was this. I have a diverse profile. Will I be given some preference? Again, profile related questions. Divyansh, please check for iQuanta's percentile predictor. If I'm not wrong, that's the name. So you'll get a suggested percentile you'll need to have in order to get calls from different colleges. Okay. Uh, what was your academics and how much did it do to contribute to get IMA? So my academics was 95 in 12th, 92 in 95 in 10th, 92 in 12th, and 89.4 in my engineering. And it did contribute significantly in the final score. Vedika, then you need to score good in CAT to make up for your fall in 10th or 12th. If you score well in CAT, I believe you'll still get good calls from a lot of top institutions. How to Atul Kachava, sir, how to improve English? I believe English, a lot of us try to think in Hindi, then reply in English. When there's a English conversation happening, then receive it in English, then try to convert it to Hindi. I believe to speak English, firstly, try to think in English, and secondly, also try to speak more often in English to yourself or to anybody around you who's comfortable on you speaking English. So in that ways, I believe you can improve English or try to get into clubs that have a lot of public speaking or go for MUNs. Um, no. Any tips on how to tackle algebra? So, for algebra, I would suggest one thing that go subtopic by subtopic, build your concepts in linear algebra. Go to solve good amount of problems there, and then go for quadratic equations, and then solve good amount of problems there. Go topic by topic. Build concepts so robust that any problem isn't making you uncomfortable. So concept building again, I'm stressing upon because it is really important. Mm, Harshvardhan, there are some institutes that don't consider family business as work. I forgot the name of those institutes. For having a qualified work experience, you need to have pay slips under your belt. So in that sense, once please confirm on with people who have shown family business as work. I haven't, so I cannot comment on that. But if you want to, I mean, on your suggestion for family business or search for job, I mean, I would want to know more of your situation to comment about this, and I don't think I should be making that decision for you. There are many questions. Yes. So Mohit, whenever you're not able to solve a question in function or inequality, I understand the concepts can get a little complex and you're not able to solve, but understand that you need to basically, there's a saying, right? You need to bleed here to perform well in war. So even if you're defeated by a question, understand after looking at the answer that was it because you panicked or because you don't know the concept? If you did not know the concept, that's the best case scenario. You need to learn something, you have the clarity. But if that happened because you panicked, so then you need to understand that you do have the capability to solve the question, but you're letting your emotions, what do you say, get the better of you. So, in that sense, be comfortable with not knowing a concept because that is an opportunity for you to learn more. So, it's not an issue if you're not able to solve the problem, but your focus should be how do I learn more, learn more, learn more. Is pursuing a hobby a valid reason for gap year, Nandana? Till you're able to justify why you went about pursuing an hobby, it's all good. And how basically it's how you sell the product you have, right? You need to sell the gap year that you have in your profile. If you're able to convince them that this was towards something productive, then that's not an issue. There are many questions. Okay. um Broken concept building, please. Okay. So I'll tell you what do I mean when I say concept building. So suppose take trigonometry for example. There are various things under it, right? I need to understand what sine, cos, tan, secant, everything is. I'll learn this first. Then there are different properties with each trigonometric ratio. Sine square x plus cos square x equal to 1. And different properties that comes along with trigonometry. So now my focus would be to understand all the properties very clearly and know that I am not going to fumble on understanding the concept. Uh, so this is what I mean by concept building, understanding the topic so deeply uh, that you are able to decipher which formula to use, which property to use, just looking at the question. Mm, So quant, I already mentioned my strategy, concept building on knowing all the properties, theorems, concepts, and then attempting to solve the problems, and then sectionals, and then full length mocks. What if your working hours till late, or commute time is there? How do you push yourselves? Okay, Garima. I mean, I would look at it little on the brighter side. See, you know that you only have very minimal amount of hours in a day. Suppose you're able to take 1 hour out of your daily schedule. 1 hour to stay consistent is more than enough for you to just have 20 minutes for each section. 20 minutes when you solve one or two RCs, five, six quant questions, one, two LRDI sets. Stay consistent for 1 hour for 5 days, but make the best out of your weekends. You'll have to say no to a lot of weekend plans, weekend getaways, but uh, you'll, I am pretty sure you'll be happy at the end of the sacrifices that you make and when you see your result. But taking max amount of time on your weekends is really important. What was your schedule on weekends? On weekends, it was I used to give till May specifically. I used to give good amount of time to go through all the lectures, build my concepts, understand the frameworks, understand the properties, understand how do I in VRC if I have to mention. So I used to put my effort in understanding how author is thinking when he's forming an RC. What is author's mindset in giving those RC's question? LRDI, it was more or less solving a lot of DILR sets. And maths, again, if I built my concepts, then it was about problem solving, sectionals, all of that stuff. What's a convert? So a convert means I've converted IIM Ahmedabad. So that's what convert is. So, Mohit, I've answered your question on functional inequality. Uh, Anjali says, can you take my question? Anjali, can you please type in your question? I'm not able to look at it right now. So Jata, I completed entire portion in maths. I was just little bit, I mean, the weaker part of my quants, I would say, was this permutations, combinations, and probability. Uh, I was underconfident about, but I had done that as well. But more or less, I had covered all the concepts. Um, 100 questions. Tavish, there is no set amount of questions per topic, which is enough. Till you feel confident कि यार ये concept से कोई भी question आए, either I am answering that or I am comfortable with see when you don't solve a question and you see the answer, either you feel कि I mean, how did I miss this? This was something I knew already. Till you get this feeling out of a topic, if that comes by 40 questions, that's enough. If it comes by 200 questions, you'll have to go till up to there as well. So till you're comfortable with a topic, practice that topic. Um, MBA in healthcare sector, yeah, Mohit, I am not sure of which college can uh, offer this program, but yeah, I mean, you'll have to look online for that. Since you belong to engineers background, so the quant section would have been quite easy for you as compared to non-engineers. So what would you suggest to non-engineers that how to do quants? Kirti, so invest good amount of time in listening to lectures, making notes, noting down formulas, understanding how you find concept grasping easy. ठीक है for some people trigonometry would best be by drawing the figures, drawing a triangle and doing everything, but for some people they go by remembering the table to do trigonometry or different frameworks for different people. So in that sense, use your lectures to build your concepts very fundamentally. मतलब you your solving of time speed distance shouldn't be based on formulas that you've written in your notebook. Question देखते ही you need to understand, okay, speed is this much, okay, time would be this much, and different aspects of the question. You shouldn't be thinking which formula to apply here, but you need to visualize the scenario and, uh, decipher the concepts out of it. This is what I mean by concept building. uh, People think that quants is a game of formula. No, quants is a game of logic. You need to crack the frame concept such that it gets intuitive to you. So that is what I would formulas. Understand concepts, formulas will become much more easier to remember. ठीक है, Anurag, profile related questions. यार, can you please just check the percentile predictor ones? Um, Best way to solve RCs. For me, I used to read the paragraph in roughly 6 minutes. That the speed got a little on the higher side by the end of my preparation. Otherwise, it was 8 to 10 minutes. Understand, I mean, I used to initially make little bullet points about the paragraph and then go towards hunting down the questions. And the questions was basically I used to, if it was inference based, elimination used to work. So different things, I'm sure in your lectures as well, sir would have emphasized on how do you go about different type of questions and how do you, if it's a fact based, I used to attempt it first because that's a straight up question that you would get. Inference based little later. So this is what my strategy was for RCs. Um, अंजलि इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन अच्छी नहीं है कैट के लिए प्रिपेयर करना अच्छी I mean, if doing MBA is your goal, Anjali, for sure CAT के लिए prepare करना चाहिए और ऐसा नहीं है that colleges which are other, I mean, good colleges other than FMS may you'll get education loan at a very cheaper interest rate. So that also wouldn't be a problem where you'll have to pay everything upfront. So in that sense, if MBA is your passion, I don't think you should be holding back. I start my preparation in Feb, as I mentioned. Anjali, can you please type in your question? I'll take your question. How and when to start topic wise and sectional test. Topic wise, you can start as you complete the concept building of that particular topic. Sectionals you can give now and then. You can probably give two sectionals of each subject this month from this month itself. Uh, because later down the line you'll be giving full length mocks. So you can start now itself. It's not much of an issue, but your focus should be on analyzing what happened after the test. Why did you not solve a problem? Was it because you panicked? Was it because you did not know the concept? What was the reason? Try to decipher the reason. If it happened right, why did it happen right? So that I stick to it for my cat journey. Uh, which topic? Okay, weightage question I've already mentioned. Vinny, there's no set hours. If you can give minimum of 1 2 hours on the weekdays and maximize your weekends, wherein you give 7 to 8 hours on weekends, I believe that will be enough for you to get 99 percentile and much more than 99 percentile to be precise. Mm, Mani, Deepak, I mean, if you're able to squeeze out 1 2 hours, as I mentioned, and maximize weekends, you'll be fine with your preparation. Anurag, profile related questions, please check the iQuanta's percentile predictor. Um, bro, what is concept building? Hmm, what's the other question? How do you justify gap year? So, I've not been in this situation, but I mean, you justify gap years by explaining what you've done to them and making sure that is coming across as something productive that you've done. Aryan, can you type in your question because there are a lot of questions I might have missed. Anamika, this is my second attempt. My first attempt preparation went perfect with ample amount of marks. Namika, so on exam day, what I feel is a lot of students need to realize that that is the day when most of the people are going to panic. 3 lakh people are going to attempt that exam. Most of them are going to panic. So that is then how do you now approach your situation? If all of the people are panicking right now, all I need to do is not panic. If I don't panic, I am going to have all the concepts that I've built till now with me in the exam. So I need to attempt mocks in such a way that it's a real exam. And while attempting mocks, I would know how my body reacts when I panic and how my body calms down when it panics. So you need to figure out how you calm down between the exam. Everybody has different ways of doing that. So in that sense, composure on the exam day is really important for you to for all the concepts to come good on the exam day. I will be this session next year. Sure, Sujal. Sure. I'll be joining in too if you take a session next year. How long did you take finish all the maths concept? Math concept didn't take much of my time. I took, I guess, 2.5 months or 2.5 months to complete all my math concepts. Krisha Rathod, please check the iQuanta percentile predictor for you to have a better idea on this. I cannot comment on the short percentile. Money, I've answered your question already. Um, how you can prepare for communication. Ravi Raj, I've already mentioned. If you're first I'll just confirm on what you're asking me, if it's the communication skills or it's the English speaking skill that you're talking about. Yeah, how much work hours? Okay, Vineet, I've answered your questions. Sujata, how many sets should one complete in DAI, LR, and VRC to score high? Also, rough number of questions. ठीक है. So I'll tell you in 2024, VRC I scored 28 marks and my percentile was 93.7x. In LRDI, I only got one question wrong. I solved all the questions, 22 out of 22, but one silly mistake, and I had scored 62. It scaled down to 58. So 99 percentile, if I'm not wrong, was at 40. You would want to verify this as well. I haven't verified this, but my percentile was 99.98. In quants, rough number of questions for you to attempt. Uh, Again, depends on the percentile you're targeting, right? So in my case, I had gotten 15 questions right, three wrong, and one more wrong, but that did not have a negative marking. ठीक है सर. अंजलि सर, मैं 12th में 60% ग्रेजुएशन के बाद 2 ईयर का गैप, क्या मुझे कैट का प्रेपरेशन करना चाहिए? अंजलि, इफ एमबीए इज योर पैशन एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, तो बिल्कुल कैट की प्रेपरेशन करनी चाहिए. और अगर तुम वो गैप ईयर को जस्टिफाई कर पा रहे हो ऑन व्हाई डिड दैट हैपन, इफ यू वर ट्राइंग फॉर समथिंग प्रोडक्टिव, तो वो दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए. Uh, um, Sir, I was preparing for CS, but I couldn't clear those exams. Now, with no worries, how should I justify this? Anushka, you can be upfront about this because a lot of people also try for UPSC and unfortunately they aren't able to make it and they switch to CAT preparation. So a lot of people also justify that scenario. So you can probably take tips from them on how they explained UPSC and they did not let uh, it portray as if cat is their plan B. So you can take tips from them, but because I wasn't in a similar situation, I wouldn't want to misguide you in any way. Uh, is how much accurate as I'm unknown. Okay, iQuanta percentile predictor is really accurate, guys. It showed 99.9 for me for IIM Ahmedabad, and fortunately, that was actually the call percentile required for people with my profile for to get a call from IIM Ahmedabad. So in that sense, I'd say it's really accurate. Go and please check that. Than me giving you a percentile. Uh, Mohit, I've spoken a lot about how do you build concepts in math. So can you please just rewind a little and check that? I would also want to speak about other sections because time is a little bit ending today. Arpit, yes, I did prepare a formula book for quants. Not formula book to be precise, but the concept book. I actually don't believe in doing quants simply by formula, but I noted down all the concepts in a book and I used to revise that more often and not specifically formulas. Uh, Aryan, I believe I've already replied to your question. Um, Anjali replied, "What about your interview?" Interviews are already done and results are out. That is how I converted I am Ahmedabad. Okay, so Raviraj, I've already mentioned this as well. Key to improve English, you need to firstly think in English and not translate what's in Hindi in your head and then translate it to English and then speak in English. Please don't do that. start thinking in English itself and try to be in clubs or conferences where you're able to do public speaking a lot more. So in that sense, English improves a lot because you need to prepare yourself to present in front of a lot of people, right? So that will help you build your English skills. Can question? No, no. Sarvesh, in RCs, I don't believe that's a good thing to do. Uh, Personal opinion that I used to read the entire RC before going with the questions. I did not want to make this mistake if my attempt goes wrong. That had I read just two more lines, I would have answered this question. So in that sense, I used to read the entire RC. So DILR is what I believe. You need to go in a very structured way about your preparation. Okay. You need, for me, I firstly prepared arrangements, which was the basics of logical reasoning. All right. And then go about structured way where next I prepare quant puzzles, where next I prepare probably games and tournaments and different concepts related to it. So in LR, go by easy topic to strong to a more relatively difficult topic. And DI, it's more or less gets intuitive because it's just pie chart, tables, bar graph, and all of that stuff. So in DILR, systematically approach the subject and practice a lot. DILR, there is no substitute. Even the best of people with best of minds had to practice a lot. So in that sense, really go hard on your practice. Sir, can I get IIM ABC without WorkX? Yes, IIM ABC does have freshers, so you don't need to worry about that till you're able to justify why you're a good fit to the cohort coming ahead. Uh, any tips and tricks? Oh, I mean, there's no tips and tricks for DILR or quant. I have emphasized how concept building is important in both of the topics, and in DILR, how systematic approach would help. So that is the only tips and tricks or shortcuts that I could give. Practice. Apprenticeship consider as work experience. Not sure, Akansha. Please check on, I guess, IIM's website or on the registration form. Given cat two times but stuck on 60%, unable to crack, and now at this very moment, very frustrated. Please suggest what I do. Anubhav, when you come across a situation like this, or probably in life as well, what I believe is this situation gives you enough clarity that you'd need. You know that you're at the lowest, stage of your life where you know the only thing that can save you from here is practice. The only thing that can help you from here is solving a lot of questions. So I would suggest you to stick to the basics, build your concepts in all of the three topics, and then go for attempting problems, and then probably giving mocks. Simple funda. Interview experiences were mixed there. A was average interview, B was very good. C was again an average interview. So different colleges, different experiences. LRDI is vast, but you need to focus on doing the entire syllabus because this is also early stage of preparation, right? You're in May, so you have enough time to cover all the concepts because LRDI they're also mixing concepts and giving insights. So please cover all of the topics. Profile related questions, please go to iQuanta's percentile predictor. That's really accurate than me giving you any information. Uh, Please, Rishabh, Sethi, I'll give you some quant uh, tips later, Rishabh Sethi. How to revise quants concepts as I don't feel confident. So, Leo, I would suggest you to not jump directly to solving a lot of questions. Please go back to revising and building your concepts and then go into solve your questions. Don't jump into directly solving your questions. How to do VRC prep as a beginner, and is it like really you need to score 99 percentile? So it's not necessary for you to score 99 percentile in all the sections. I mean, I scored 93 in VRC, but my overall was 99.95. But to approach VRC, you need to read a lot of articles and solve a lot of RCs for you to get a knack of how author thinks when he sets an RC. So that amount of practice is really important. Do gap year matter? Do gap years matter? So gap year, so till you're able to justify it, it will not matter. But yes, if it's huge and you've not done anything very productive, that might be a little bit, uh, I mean, the sour part of your profile is what I'd say. If I start today with 8 plus hour daily study, can I score 99 percentile? AKY 99, you can score 100 percentile if you're able to give this amount of effort, but in the right direction. Rishabh, I'll do a detailed analysis later on your question. Uh, Asma, can you please type in your question again? From which year should I start? You can probably start your preparation second year late down the line. Which topic? Can I start now and score good? Yes, Ved, you can start now and score good. Dhwani profile is 10th 95, 12th 92, grad 89.4, work ex of 20 months. This is my profile. Currently in first, I'm an engineer. I graduated from NIT Silchar in 2023. Is it safe if we skip some portions in quants and focus more on algebra and arithmetic? I mean, you have enough time to cover all the topics, right? So why do you want to skip anything? I wouldn't suggest it, but I mean, depends on how much effort you're able to give from this point of time. Sir, I don't know anything yet. How do I start from scratch? Uh, From scratch, I would say in VARC, read a lot of articles, understand the portion, solve a lot of RCs. In DILR, follow a systematic approach where you're going from easy to hard in logical reasoning. Wind up DI fast because that would be easier for you to solve. Maths build concepts very well and then go on hunting down the problems. Why have we chosen IIM A and not FMS? So I am A because of the candidate pool coming there, not saying that FMS doesn't have the candidate pool, but according to the exposure I need, and so I was much more keen on joining IIM Ahmedabad, and it was a dream college for me. SSC couldn't make it to the final list. Kishan, if you want to pursue an MBA, then for sure CAT is a very good option to prepare, is what I would say. Not based on you passing or not getting your marks in some other area should be a criteria for you to prepare CAT. I don't believe I can answer that question on those lines. Uh, Which topic have heavy weightage in quant? As I mentioned, arithmetic has heavy weightage, but you have enough time for you to cover all the topics. That is why I'm not having any bias as of now. Um, which topic? So LRDI hard लग रहा है. Can you please simplify in an easy way? So AK unfortunately LRDI में एक ही shortcut है for you to practice enough amount of sets for you to practice a lot of sets. LRDI में the only way you can get to a comfortable spot is over preparing. Over preparing is going to give you confidence and that will lessen your panic in the section. So in that sense, over prepare, over prepare, over prepare. Veda, I am not much versed with the GIM Achievers round, so can't answer more there. Um, Guys, just 1 second. I'll connect the charger. I'll connect charger and be back. Battery little low. How much minimum time it will take for preparation of CAT? April is a good time to start for you, Omkar or Aryan, and do well in CAT, so it won't be an issue. How is MICA? Does it need WorkX? MICA, I'm not sure if WorkX is a hard criteria there, but yes, MICA is a good school, and yes, it's known as Mecca of marketing, if I'm not wrong. So in that sense, it's a good school. Um, I am last year engagement student. Will it? Uh, Ashwini, I'm not sure of this. So anybody who's had a similar profile and made it to a good B school, you can probably connect with them. Hello, Zatak. Uh, yes, Vani, you can probably go for internships because that will be a talking point for you in your interviews. Uh, and if you have any work ex under your belt, that will also help you in your PI shortlisting score. I mean, to justify your gap of 2 year, you need to make sure you have a story which comes across as you've done something productive in that amount of time. So make sure you justify your gap year where you're mentioning your story as if that's something productive you. So Anshu, how do you stay motivated uh, in the prep time? Clarity. You want this, you have to do this. What what else? It's plain maths. Um, I'm last year engagement student. Again, Ashwini, I cannot answer that question because I'm not uh, experienced with that part of. I mean, I've not had any conversations with people with this profile. Yes, if you have done UPSC preparation, you can mention that to them, but you also need to have a solid reason for them to know CAT is not your plan B, and MBA is actually something that you intended on doing. So make sure you also have a justification for that. Yes, Rohan, internships always are a talking point for you in your basically interviews and I mean, yeah, in your interviews. So guys, last 2 minutes, I guess, in the session. So questions related specifically to CAT prep, you can point down. I'll take 1, 2 questions. Apart from this, you can always ask people from iQUANTA or you can connect with me on my LinkedIn. I'll be happy to answer there as well. Uh, Average score in mock test hovered around 90 to 100, but I've seen scores of 50 as well, and I've seen scores of 140 as well. So it was a wide spectrum, not a short score every mock. Work experience matters in the composite score that is calculated for your PI shortlist and also in your final shortlist, but it isn't a mandatory criteria for you to have. DI set in the exam, if it was a DI set, I used to finish it quickly so that I get maximum amount of time for an LR set. I started my preparation in February, mid-February if I'm not wrong, and that went on till the D-Day. It's showing me probability in list of top colleges. Not score. How to know that? It must, I mean, it should have shown a percentile, right? And against that, you have percentile versus marks that you can search on internet. So you'll get an idea on how much score you need to have. So that's it, probably, guys. I guess one, two questions more, and then we can wind off. If you do have any questions, you can obviously connect with people from iQuanta or with me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to answer the questions there itself. Quant question, if you're able to, I mean, squeeze out 10 questions a day or uh, probably 15, 20 questions a day, even that's fine. LRDI sets, one to two sets are fine. Yes, iQuanta is do hard copies as well for you to have it uh, delivered at your home. So in that sense, you can use those books for preparations, for your preparation. Uh, there was one more question. So I'll be joining IIM Ahmedabad this year. Anirudh, just to answer your question. Anuchand, I would suggest that you stick to particular study material and not switch between a lot of materials and confuse yourselves with which to follow. So trust one material. You'll be obviously be giving topic wise tests or sectional tests. If you're scoring good, then you're doing something right, or you're using a resource that's right. So in that sense, that is how you know if you're using the right resource or no. Yes, I am a general engineer male, and yes, it wasn't my first attempt. Last year, when I had started my preparation, uh, in just before the registration, I had given my attempt and scored close to 93 percentile, which was a bad percentile according to my profile. Thank you, Ankita. Yes, Madhurya, I'm a gem.
Is the sound there now?
Hello.
Looks good. Okay. So, I was telling you that whenever we start a batch, we follow a tradition, the tradition of having some series of sessions. The first one was by Swaraj, a brilliant chap, I would say, and he has completed all the top B schools with 99.94 percentile, and you must have talked with him and witnessed his strategy, talked, asked questions, what he did, what he did not do, how he studied, all that stuff. So I hope that was a kind of a very fruitful session. And now it is me, and Ras will be joining in, and he has flown down from Mumbai, and he has just reached. He's in front of me,
Hello.
so he's also here. I think he's also audible to you guys. Yes or no?
Am I audible? Is my mic working? Can you hear me?
Perfect. So,
Audible? Perfect. Chalo. Carry
the,
on. Carry
the sessions. So today it will be me and Ras will be chipping in with some questions, and after that, tomorrow it's Raj sir session, and he will be. The session is called Solving CAT QA the 100 percentile way, because he has scored not just once, twice, or thrice, 6 times 100 percentile in quant. Then 2nd May it will be Kamal sir, who will be talking about data interpretation for CAT 25. Big surprise awaiting. 3rd May, hold your breath, something big is coming up. Any guesses? Now, on 3rd May itself, we'll also be having a toppers roundtable. So a lot of toppers will be there, and they'll be sitting in a roundtable discussion will be there, what they did, all that stuff that is required for any kind of topper, what they do exactly. So it's said that winners don't do different things; they do things differently. So what different they did, we'll be discussing on that. 4th May, it will be a scholarship test, 11 a.m. Then 4th May, again in the evening, we'll be having a live session of logical reasoning with Kamal sir. 5th May, algebra basics by Raj sir again. 6th May, profile counseling session. Like, you have any queries, any doubts um, regarding your profile, you have to go for an internship, what kind of work is required, any kind of academic diversity points, all those things which are required to crack a top B school, in addition to your, CAT written score. We'll be discussing that on 6th May. 6th May again, I'll be coming live, 7 months plan, what all things to do to crack CAT with flying colors. All right. So again, good evening, everyone. Tushar says question paper 2025. You want that? Okay, stay tuned. Last year we discussed, there were some marathons, out of which 7 questions. 7 questions, similar data came into the real paper. In fact, 2 questions were there with word by word. The same questions were there in the real paper. Okay. So timeline is by mid-August, we'll be completing it. The syllabus will be completed. And then you have to start taking mocks by mid-July, because that is where we launch the mocks. After arithmetic, that is has got the most weightage, would be completed. The mocks will launch in mid-June, but by mid-July you should start taking it religiously, following everything in mocks, the solutions, the video solutions, textual solutions, and also kind of analysis that we provide, which is AI driven. Okay, so let's start. First of all, need to understand that what is the syllabus of quant and what is the weightage. By the way, there's one thing which is sure, like cat and life are very much similar. That's what I say fashionably. Why? Because life is uncertain and so is cat. The only certain thing about cat is uncertainty. We don't know what the syllabus is. In fact, of all the exams that are there in the real in India, or maybe in the entire world, you have a fixed syllabus. Okay, that is what you have to study. In CAT notification, if you've seen that, there's no syllabus. But from the historical data that we have, we come across that what kind of questions they will be asking, from what topics, what subtopics, and based on that, a syllabus is defined, and the weightage as well. So weightage is determined by historical trends and also by the current market trends. When I say market trends, you might be kind of surprised. Why market trends? Ultimately, after MBA, you'll be going and joining some corporate. You will be in some sort of trade, right? You can be a strategist, you can be a business analyst, you can be a financial analyst. There are multiple things which you can do. So obviously, the kind of questions that they throw at you, and majorly in logical reasoning. So it's very much, kind of what the corporates require out of people. The quantitative skills are required, the logical skills, very much required in the linguistic skills as well. That is why we have VARC, LRDI, and quant in the real CAT. At the very same time, nobody wants a mathematician unless you become a financial analyst or maybe become a business analyst, data analyst, which is also kind of requirement these days in finance, especially. Just a minute.
Student are on different stream.
Different stream. Sudeep, I have been good. Oh,
Adibanshu? Huh?
just a minute. मैंने start कर दिया stream.
You start, मैं इनको लिख देता हूँ.
I'm live now. All right. A very good evening, everyone. Actually, I went live on the wrong stream due to some technical issues, but thank you for waiting. So here I am. Hey. All right. So today's session, I think first session you already have attempted, in which there was Swaraj Pal, who was a brilliant student, and he had joined top B schools. So now, okay, the voice is perfect.
मुझे भी बीच में introduce करना.
Yeah, Abhishek does. Okay, so Swaraj, you must have talked with him, and he had brilliant ideas on how to, balance your job and your preparation for CAT. So I think you must have got a lot from that session. And now I'll be discussing CAT QA strategy and basics. So here, it won't just be strategy, but also quant basics. So we'll be doing a few questions in which
Less audible.
voice is less, or is that perfect?
Perfect. ठीक.
It's perfect.
It is
Okay.
not so clear. This is not charged.
Okay. It's not so clear. Is that so? Just a minute.
Is my voice clear, children? Yes, Vedika, I'm here. Can you guys hear my voice? Can you guys hear my voice?
Okay. Now it's clear. Very low.
Perfect. Now audible. All right.
Now it's audible.
Very good. Very good.
Hello.
Take
Okay.
care.
Okay.
Is Abhishek sir's mic working? Abhishek sir, just check.
Hello. Yeah. Is it's my mic working? Can you hear me? Krisha, if net is slow, it won't be, hampering the voice. It will hamper the entire thing, the entire stream.
This is called.
Students audio, okay, just try to use the headphone now. And I'll try to, talk at the top of my voice. Is that cool? Okay, so CAT QA strategy and basics. It's a follow-up session of the first session, which was taken by Swaraj, who has converted top IIMs, and I think you must have. There's a lot of things which you must have taken home from his experience of how to manage the CAT prep with the work, right? So every year when we start a new batch, the tradition of conducting a series of sessions which are very much required for you. We'll talk about strategy, the basics, and all that stuff. 30th April, that is today, we had Swaraj Pal. Now it is me, and Raj sir will also be chipping in. He has, flown down from Mumbai, and he is here today in front of me. Okay, so here he is, all ripped up. Probably, in the last 1 month, you didn't see him. He is doing some bodybuilding. All right.
Just
So-
getting ready to do a little more.
Yeah, it will do more patai. Okay. Ashu, it'll be other group. Okay, so today, cat strategy in basics. On 1st May, that is tomorrow, Ras will be coming live again with the 100 percentiler way. Why do we say that? Because Raj sir has gone, secured 100th percentile in quant 6 times in a row. And 2nd May will be DI basics from Kamal sir at 7 p.m. 3rd May, there is a big surprise unlocking. Something big is coming your way. And I don't know whether you can guess it correctly or not, but there is going to be something. Just hold your breath, hold your horses, stay tuned. On 3rd May, again, we'll be having a round table discussion of all the toppers that we had last year, the people who can, kind of connect there, and they'll be discussing everything, be it strategy, be it things to do, things to avoid while preparing for CAT and not get demotivated by a low score or all that stuff. 4th May, there'll be scholarship test as well at 11 a.m. On 4th May, again at 7 p.m., we'll be having a logical reasoning class for CAT 2025 by Kamal sir. And 5th May, there'll be a class on algebra basics. Algebra and arithmetic are two most important parts of quant. We'll discuss that. On 6th May, there'll be profile counseling. When we say profile counseling, um, it means the kind of questions that you have regarding your work experience, your internships, academic diversity, gender diversity, and all that stuff that can make or break the score in addition to what you score in the real CAT written paper. And 6th May, I'll be coming again, how to crack CAT in 7 months, because 7 months will be left. So, and I'll be discussing, focusing on the methodology adopted by the working aspirants as well as non-working aspirants or the students, the college students. All right. Timeline by mid-August, the syllabus will be completed by mid-August. And in like last week of June, we will be, kind of launching the mocks, but we'll be expecting or suggesting that by mid-July you should start taking mocks because by that time arithmetic, which has got the most weightage in quant, will be completed. All right, so let's go slide by slide. The first thing, which is most important, is the syllabus of quant and the weightage of quant. All right. Any kind of query that we have? Okay, Raj sir is there. He'll be answering your queries in case I miss it out. New batch starting with algebra? No, Abhishek. Starting with arithmetic only. All right. So arithmetic has 8 to 9 questions. Now this is a historical data. The CAT is the only paper which is highly, unpredictable. It's uncertain, just like life. You don't know what is life going to throw on you. Throw the curveballs. CAT does that. CAT doesn't have a specific syllabus, to be true. But at the very same time, the kind of questions that they frame are doable by someone who has passed his class 10th, mathematically. Logical reasoning, data interpretation is something that we haven't done throughout our life. It's all about solving the puzzles, having an open mind, and VARC, it's English language in practice. So we'll discuss that as well in the upcoming sessions, but today it'll be quant only. Arithmetic, we have 8 to 9 questions based on historical trends. Algebra, 7 to 8. So you can see these are quite a kind of similar. Percentage wise, arithmetic forms 35% and algebra forms 25%, more or less, plus minus 5%. Geometry, 5 to 6 questions. Numbers, 1 to 3 questions. Series, logs, PNC, miscellaneous. Now, series and logs also come under algebra. All right. So, this is something which has got a high significance in CAT because CAT somehow loves logs and series. That's why they throw questions at you, 3 to 4 questions from there. Miscellaneous, something that cannot be put inside any bucket will be miscellaneous. Any kind of quant puzzle. So we'll discuss some questions today as well. 1 to 2 from there. Geometry, 22%. Modern math, 10%. Number system will be 8%. So based on this, you can plan your studies depending on how much time you have or how much time can you, invest in preparation. Okay. Anything else? Someone from IP Mat asking a question from you, sir.
थोड़ा वो ऐड कर दो या मैं कर दूं स्कूल का syllabus.
Please.
See, one very important thing that everyone needs to understand, CAT is an exam that is open for all the streams, right? It is open for science, commerce, arts, everyone, right? Now, how many of you have completed your 10th standard? How many of you have passed 10th standard? आप में से कितने लोगों ने 10th पास किया है? So if you have done 10th, in arithmetic you have percentages, profit loss, right? Time, speed, distance, ratio, proportion. These are the topics that you have studied in your life in 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th standard, right? So anybody who has done 10th has no, or whichever stream they are from, whether they are from science, commerce, arts, engineering or anything, it's very important for everyone to understand. मतलब मैं कई बार बोलता रहता हूँ ना कि बहाना अगर बनाया ना किसी ने तो वहीं पे कूट दूंगा, ठीक है ना? That 11th, 12th, I don't have maths or I don't have engineering background or anything. It's very important to understand that these topics are from 10th standard. So if you have completed your 10th standard, these are the topics that are going to be not new. Okay, hold on, I'm coming to it. It's just that the way of asking questions is slightly different. They are a little more logical, they are a little more tricky, they are more beautiful than the question that you have done in your 10th class. Okay, in algebra, simple equations and quadratic, they are from again